You wake up early. The alarm goes off before the sun even comes up. You drag yourself out of bed, lace up your shoes, and you push through a workout before most people have even opened their eyes. You are doing everything right. You are disciplined. You are consistent. You are showing up. And yet, the fat is not coming off the way it should be. The scale barely moves. Your clothes fit the same way they did 3 months ago. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet, devastating thought starts to creep in. Maybe this just does not work for me. Stop right there. Because that thought is a lie, and I am going to prove it to you today. The problem is not your effort. The problem is not your willpower. The problem is not your body being broken or your metabolism being slow. The problem is one specific mistake that millions of people make every single morning during their workout, and it is silently destroying every single hour of fat burning your body could be doing. And once you understand what it is, you cannot unsee it. Here is what nobody tells you. The time you work out and the way you fuel yourself around that workout directly controls whether your body burns fat or locks it away. And most people, without even realizing it, are giving their body the exact signal to store fat instead of burn it, right before they exercise. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up in the morning. Your body has been fasting for 7, 8, maybe 9 hours overnight. Your insulin levels are low. Your growth hormone is naturally elevated. Your body is in what scientists call a catabolic state, which just means it is primed and ready to break things down for energy. In that window, your body is a fat-burning machine. It is literally waiting, almost begging, to use stored fat as fuel. And then, with the best intentions in the world, you eat before your workout. You have a banana. You have some oats. You have a protein bar. You have whatever someone online told you was the perfect pre-workout meal. And in doing that, you pull the emergency brake on fat burning before you even take your first step. Here is the simple biology of what happens. The moment you eat carbohydrates or even protein in the morning, your insulin rises. Insulin is your storage hormone. It is incredibly powerful, and its number one job when it shows up in your bloodstream is to shut down fat burning completely. Not slow it down, shut it down. Because your body now has glucose available from that food, and it is always going to use glucose before it touches stored fat. So your entire workout, every rep, every mile, every drop of sweat, is burning that banana you ate 30 minutes ago. Not your belly fat, not the fat on the back of your arms, not the stubborn fat that has been sitting on your body for years, just that banana. And I know what you might be thinking, but I feel weak if I do not eat before I work out. I have heard that my whole life. I need fuel, and I completely understand that. It feels true. It feels like your body is telling you something. But here is what is actually happening. That feeling of weakness, that lightheadedness, that sense of running on empty, it is not because your body has no fuel. Your body is carrying thousands and thousands of calories worth of stored fat right now, today, at this very moment. The reason you feel weak is because your body has become so dependent on dietary carbohydrates for immediate energy that it has actually forgotten how to access its own fat stores efficiently. It is not a physical limitation. It is a metabolic adaptation, and it can change. Research consistently shows that people who train in a fasted state burn significantly more fat during exercise than people who eat beforehand. We are talking about studies showing up to 20% more fat oxidation during fasted training compared to fed training. That is not a small number. That is not a marginal difference. That is your body working at a completely different level of fat-burning efficiency just by shifting one habit. Now, I want to be very honest with you here because the fitness world is full of oversimplifications, and I refuse to be one of those voices. Fasted training is not magic. It is not the only piece of the puzzle. And if you go train fasted but then you come home and eat in a way that spikes your insulin sky high all day, you will erase every benefit you just created. The morning window is the ignition. What you do with the rest of your day is the engine. Both have to work together. And this is where things get really interesting. Because the people who figure this out, the people who understand not just the fasted training piece, but the full picture of how their hormones, their eating window, their meal composition, and their training style all connect together, those are the people who start seeing the results that feel almost unfair. You have probably seen someone like that. Someone who seemed to just figure something out, and suddenly the weight started coming off consistently, and they moved differently, and they talked differently, and they had a kind of energy that made you wonder what changed for them. That can be you. And I do not say that as a motivational platitude. I say it because I have seen it happen over and over again with real people who were doing exactly what you are doing right now and feeling exactly what you are feeling. Before I go deeper into this, I want to mention that we do have a program linked down below in the video description. It goes far beyond what I can cover in a single video. If you have been struggling to see consistent results, and you want a structured approach that actually addresses all of these interconnected pieces at once, I want you to click that link and take a look. But genuinely, only do that if you are serious about changing your results. Because what is inside is not for people who are looking for a shortcut. It is for people who are ready to do this right. If that is not you right now, that is completely okay. But if something in you just said, yes, that is me, do not scroll past that link. Now, back to the mistake and what you actually do about it. The solution is not complicated, but it does require you to unlearn something that has been marketed to you for years. The pre-workout meal industry is enormous. Supplement companies, cereal brands, protein bar manufacturers, they all have a financial interest in you believing you need to eat before you exercise. That belief is worth billions of dollars to them. I want you to sit with that for a second. When you remove food from the equation before your morning workout, and you train in that natural fasted state your body wakes up in, you give your body no choice but to turn to fat for fuel. It is not a choice your body makes reluctantly. It is the metabolic path of least resistance when glucose is not available. Your body dips into those fat stores the way a car dips into its fuel tank, automatically, continuously, efficiently. But here is the part that most people miss. It is not just about burning more fat during the workout. The real magic happens after. When you train fasted, you trigger something called enhanced post-exercise fat oxidation. Your body stays in an elevated fat-burning state for hours after your workout ends. So while you are sitting at your desk, while you are making coffee, while you are doing absolutely nothing physically demanding, your body is still burning through stored fat at a higher rate than it would have if you had eaten before training. You are essentially buying yourself hours of additional fat burning with one simple decision made before the sun comes up. And here is what that looks like in real life. You start waking up, and within a few weeks your clothes begin to fit differently. Not dramatically at first, just slightly. A waistband that feels a tiny bit looser, a shirt that sits a little differently across your shoulders, and then one morning you catch yourself in the mirror and something shifts. You see definition starting to emerge where there was none before. You notice your face looks a little sharper, and then someone says something to you. Someone who has not seen you in a while looks at you and says something is different about you. And you know what it is, but you almost do not want to explain it because it sounds too simple. That is the moment everything changes. Because it stops being about willpower and discipline and sacrifice. It becomes about understanding. And when you understand your body, truly understand the signals it is sending and what it needs, everything gets easier. The cravings become quieter. The energy becomes more consistent. The results become more predictable. And that feeling of I am broken, this does not work for me, that feeling dissolves. Let me also tell you what not to do during this fasted morning training window, because this is where a lot of people sabotage themselves without knowing it. The two biggest mistakes people make once they start training fasted are, first, drinking anything with calories or sugar before or during the workout, including those flavored waters and sports drinks that seem innocent but absolutely spike your insulin, and second, waiting too long to eat afterward. After a fasted workout, your body is actually in an extremely receptive state. Your muscle tissue is primed to absorb nutrients. Your cells are almost magnetic for protein and healthy fats. If you wait 3, 4, 5 hours to eat after a fasted training session, you shift from fat burning into muscle breakdown. You do not want that. Eat within an hour to 90 minutes after finishing your workout. Prioritize protein and healthy fats. Keep the carbohydrates moderate in that first meal. That combination will preserve your lean muscle, refuel your body correctly, and keep your fat-burning momentum going through the rest of the day. This is not a theory, this is not a trend. This is your biology working exactly the way it was designed to work. And every morning you wake up and make the right call in that early window, you are compounding your results. One morning becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. And 1 month of this done consistently produces a transformation that people will absolutely notice. If you are ready to stop guessing and start following a plan that maps all of this out for you, that takes away the confusion and gives you a clear, structured system built around how your body actually works, the program in the description below is waiting for you. Most people keep scrolling. Most people say they will start Monday. Most people are still in the same place a year from now that they are in today. You clicked on this video for a reason. Trust that. The link is right below this video. Go take a look. Today,